Skytrek, and you have to pay for that. How much is it?
It's $65 per vehicle.
Per vehicle. So you've got to start it before 10:30 because it's quite a long trek. Plenty to see.
About 80 kilometres.
Yeah.
They give you a book which marks all the points of interest on it. It's 80 kilometres of trek.
So
Sort of slow going, so allow a whole day. But we'll take a few videos along the way and give you a bit of an idea on what it's like.
So when you're starting, you're supposed to reset. What do you call that thing?
Set your odometer at 0.
Odometer, yeah.
That's this one here.
So it's a walk to Stokes outlet.
Oh, we went up there yesterday, so we don't have to
Yeah.
walk up there.
So there's a list, and it's all numbered, and it tells you what you're looking at as you go along. And apparently there's plaques that you can read and information and tiny little walks out to small things. So we'll show you as we go along. So we passed the first one, and we're coming up to the second and third spot, so it's easier for you to keep track so you don't get lost. As they say, just stay to the tracks, right?
That's it.
It looks like the grader's been out here for us.
It's not too bad, is it?
No. So this is checkpoint 2.
What's this one?
It says Skytrek.
It's just telling you you're on the track.
Yeah. So it just tells you on your track. This information tells you all about the property.
We'll have to ask them about these pines, the cypress pines. Some of them look like they've been planted, and others look like they're coming back naturally. So, because like when we were doing the mine tour at Blinman, the tour guide there told us that when they bought the steam rock crusher up there in the late 1800s, of course they needed timber to get the boiler going, so they cut down 300 square kilometres of cypress pines.
Yeah.
And as we're driving through the Flinders Ranges, you can sort of see there's quite a lot of them coming back, and there's a lot of young ones, so I don't know whether they've had a bit of a planting frenzy, but a lot of them seem scattered everywhere, so I suppose once they plant a few, well then the seeds naturally spread the rest of them. So be good to see them come back.
Yeah, and it does. It looks so much nicer when you see the pines around. It actually reminds me a bit of home back in Canada. So this is a little bit of the trail, so it's a good trail. Yeah. So can you do this with a normal car, or do you have to have a four-wheel drive?
Got to be four-wheel drive.
Okay, so there's something out here to the right to have a look at?
Yep, I suppose we should pull in there, shouldn't we?
Uh-huh. So this is number 3 on our list. Oh, I see, and it at the back. So number 1 was St. Mary's Peak, number 2 was Razorback Ridge, and this is Mount Abrupt.
It's an old winch of some sort.
There you go, Mom. Kangaroos. The red ones.
look at him go.
It's so fast. I'm good at the side window, but they're on the wrong side. Oh, he almost crashed into that fence.
Comes back in.
Oh.
The little bloke went under the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the bug's under. And there's an open gate like there.
Yeah.
So we're about the, I think, marker number 16 on the Skytrek loop, and different scenery again here. Some huge river red gums, lots of emus around here. There was about a dozen emus when we pulled up. Little old drover's cottage.
Much inside?
Yeah, you can. I'll keep the camera on as we go in case there's a kangaroo in there. So this is an old drover's hut. The walls are made of cypress pine. Looks like they put a bit of mud in between them, kept the wind out. Not real comfy looking beds. Little neat locker with the fly screens on it.
So this is called the Valley of the Pyramids. if you're looking ahead and use your imagination, the sharp peaks all look like pyramids. How beautiful is that? The top, yeah.
Yeah.
You see it way up there?
Yeah. So we're at point of interest number 31,
The lunch spot.
which they call the lunch spot. And they got these beautiful big river red gum trees. And up there is a wedge-tailed eagle's nest. But this is beautiful. Look at the girth on these trees.
Yeah, massive.
It's a pretty old tree, that one. Look at the way it's grown over the rock. We're just going to go for a wander down the creek there and see what's down there. So they reckon if you go for a wander down the creek bed from the point 31, there's fossils to be found. So we'll have a look. So we walked down the creek a couple of 100 metres and couldn't find any fossils, so Wendy says the only fossil around here is me.
There you go.
So this is an old Malcolm Moore grader from the
From the 1940s.
built in the 1940s, so it was the first grader up this part of the country.
Purchased by the Reynolds family in 1960s.
And they used it up until the 1980s, didn't they?
Till 1982. It had a second motor installed in 1973 and was used extensively on Willow Springs station until 1982.
So they would have used that to build all the tracks around here.
They also used it to build the golf course at Lindman.
So this is it's got an old Fordson petrol kerosene motor. So they used to use a mixture of petrol and kerosene.
Look at the tires, eh?
Yeah. Some of us are just completely perished.
Yeah. So that's what's inside a tire, huh?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, no, she's left here to rust now. So this is the point of the Skytrek track. God, that's hard to say. Skytrek track. Where if you want, you can go back to the right and go back to the homestead. So this is at point 34. So they reckon beyond here it gets a little bit more challenging. So they recommend experienced four-wheel drivers go that way. So, but if you've had enough, so we left at 7:30. What's the time now, Wen? What's the time? Oh, hang on, I've got my phone here.
8:49.
Yeah, so nearly 11 o'clock. So we've been going, 3 hours, and we're sort of a little bit over the halfway mark. So if you've had enough, you can go back that way, but we're going to continue on this way because Wendy just is dying to go four-wheel driving.
Love it.
What number are we at now?
43.
And what's it say?
Engage four-wheel drive.
And what did Wendy say?
Go fuck. Fix it. Do it. No. Look. Take a photo out there. No, it's really steep. We're gonna die. Retreat.
It's just like it. The camera? Do you want to drive the car and I'll get the drone?
No, fuck off.
Oh, come on.
No. I'm not driving the car here. Oh. see now why there are exits to get back to the caretaker's office if you don't want to go this way.
You've been up worse than this.
I have. Did I like it?
Oh, did you?
No! Betty! Mom! Help!
So this is the highest point, I think, on the Skytrek track. This gives you an idea of just how big this property is. Massive and beautiful.
This is when you're getting to the locked gate. There's an emergency exit on 9, which takes you back to 9, which is straight ahead. So if you're not crazy like this guy here, and this might be a little bit more extreme for you, this four-wheel driving, jump out at the locked gate. Oh my God! It's like a roller coaster. And he thinks this is fun.
You need one of these to hang on to.
Yeah, I know. Looking over there and I'm thinking it's so steep.
The dust coming back in. Look, no, look.
You fucking put your hands on the wheel.
Look, I'm not even touching the brakes. The car's just walking down the hill. Look, see? That's what four-wheel drive's for. You just put it in first, and look, it just goes down the hill itself. Stop penny.
So I died a heart attack because I don't have a steering wheel and I don't have no pedals. And when I look out the window, I can't see the earth in a lot of cases. He thinks it's funny. So that's what we just came down, and it's so steep and rocky.
Here's a tip: put your windows up before you come down that hill. Look, the dust is like talcum powder. Look at the whole inside the car.
Aha! Jimmy didn't close his window. We had both windows open as we come down the hill, so all the dust is in the car. Guess who's cleaning that? Not me. Emergency exit. Bit late now.
Relax. So this is the Willow Springs waterhole. Not much water in it at the minute though. With the beautiful red cliffs. There's one thing about the Flinders Ranges, there's just so much colour. Like, and every time the sun hits it from a different direction, you get a different effect. So this is it. That's all the water they've got at the moment. Wow. There's not much water in there.
No.
We can see a tadpole in it.
Can you? That's a leaf. Oh yeah, there's tadpoles here.
Yeah. Yep, tadpoles in it. But I suppose when they get rain it fills up. So they think that this is where the name Willow Springs came from.
There's the old version of the four-wheel drive.
It would have been fun driving that up here. Wow, how's this for a view? The old Flintstone car.
Put your drone up here?
Yeah, it's left-hand drive.
It's Canadian.
You should be driving this one.
I should.
So when you get the rundown on the Skytrek, they give you a like a little pamphlet on the back of a pamphlet. It's got a little compass that shows you where different stuff is. So when you get to point 46, there's an arrow on the top of the barrel, and that'll tell you where different stuff is. So one is Mount Wilson, which is, you go out this way to say number 11. Number 11 is Druid Range.
Yeah. And Chance Range is
Chance
beside
Range.
it. 12, 13. So those are the ranges.
Yeah.
Ralston's Bluff.
That's 7 here behind us. 7 is
7 is Mount Cavernon.
Mount Carnarvon or
Carnarvon.
Cavernon. So yeah, so there's this is called Prominent Hill. So it's a pretty spectacular view the whole way around here.
Straight ahead there is St. Mary's Peak.
Yep. And I think Wilpena Pound is just the other side of St. Mary's Peak, I think, isn't it? So I think Wilpena Pound's just over the other side of those ranges there.
Number 15. So yeah, it's just on the other side of the ranges.
Yeah. So yeah, so spectacular. So we're nearly at the end of this trek. I think we've been, what have we been? Probably 4 hours, 5 hours. Probably 4.5 hours. And yeah, it's, you know, it's just a like a farm trek through the property, like that you can see in the distance there. But so much different scenery. Like you go down through little creeks and gullies and over the grasslands, and you can see the different types of terrain. So definitely worth doing. It's $65 a car. But you know, if you want to do this last part of it, you definitely need 4-wheel drive. But you know, any of the new utes will be more than capable of doing it. Beautiful.
So you get to the top here of the one of the highest points, and you write your name in the book to say you've done the trek. So this is number 48. It goes up to 50, so we're almost back at the homestead, and this is the view. So it changed a little. It got all these taller type trees. I'm not sure what they're called. That's where we were the other day, having a look from that mountain, and where we're going to go to have a look at the sunset. What's that? called? Stoke?
It's Stokes Hill. Yeah.
Stokes Hill.
Yeah, that's where we were yesterday.
Yeah. So we've done a couple of hours drive to get to the other side of it.
A little bit closer to the ranges again now.
Yeah.
It's
Beautiful.
just beautiful. It's worth the money. So $65, you know, like you spend a better part of a day.
Yeah.
You know, like it's you'll see stuff that you won't see in the national parks, and that's just beautiful.
It's been an adventure, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go finish it.
When you're done.